Welcome everybody. My name's Kevin Alderton. I'm one of the directors of X5 Chartered Accountants, and today I'm very pleased to welcome one of our friends and clients, John Ainscough, to talk about his business, Ainscough Associates, and about the relationship that we've had for the last 11 years or so since we first met him. So John is in the field of case management. Now, when I first met him, I had no idea what that was, and I suspect a lot of people don't. So John, perhaps you'd like to start by explaining what that is.
I will. So, perhaps one of the first things to say is that case management is not it's not a profession in and of itself that has a specific educational pathway, and it's not accredited. So, nobody can actually go and find a training course to become a case manager, and nobody can actually qualify as a case manager. So it makes it a bit of a strange profession. In the States, it's been around for many years, and it's related to private insurance, private healthcare insurance within the States. If somebody has a critical injury or an injury of any kind, then often the insurance company employs a case manager to make sure that the client with the injury has the most cost-effective rehabilitation, and will make sure that they organise that rehabilitation. Now, in this country, case managers do work within the NHS, and they also work within the private sector. Our case managers come from backgrounds of social work, nursing, and occupational therapy mainly, although you also get physiotherapists. So the primary thing that people look for is that clinical background and clinical expertise. We work within the field of personal injury and clinical negligence mainly, the legal field of personal injury and clinical negligence. So to try and sum it up, a client has an injury caused by a third party, could be a motor vehicle accident. They end up with quite a serious injury, and because that accident is somebody else's fault, they then claim compensation for their injuries. They may, as part of that, then need rehabilitation, some medical input, some support, possibly new housing, a whole wide range of things, sometimes very specialist equipment. And what the solicitor will do, will employ us as a case manager, and we do what it says on the tin. The client is the case, so to speak, and we manage that case. So that's it in a nutshell.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good. So we've got somebody who's had an accident, and basically you're managing the whole process for that individual. It could be clinical negligence, it could be a red X or whatever, and you're working more or less in service of that individual and their family to try and help them get the best outcome. Sure, that's great. Now, that was an explanation you gave me 11 years ago when we first met. So maybe you'd like to say a little about how we met and the relationship that we've had over these last 11 years. Thanks.
So you mentioned earlier you were looking back through your records, and we were introduced by somebody called Indra. I think I think he's no longer a client of yours. I don't know whether he ever was, but and I don't even know how he knew you. He's still a good friend of mine. So obviously he introduced us, and I think I'd only just started the company then. So you've been my accountant since I started in 2009. I won't say anything more at the moment about the sort of history of us working together.
No, we've worked together pretty closely on a lot of things. I think I should say is that in that time we've grown. The business has grown from you being an individual working at home from a bedroom, I think, and now you've got a number of people working for you, and the turnover has grown hugely. And we've had a lot of projects that we've considered together, and I've spoken to your different associates and so on, and we've got quite a close relationship in how we've worked together with the accounting, and that's obviously a lot more sophisticated now than it was when you were a one-man band.
Yes, obviously it's been quite a journey over those past 10 years, and you've been close party to that journey as well. Like you said, I started off as a one-man band in my bedroom. It now turns out I'm a bigger band, but I'm still in my bedroom because of the COVID situation. So I think one of the most interesting things about growing the business, and this is something that you've really helped me with along the way. So I think one of the things to say about you, Kevin, is that you've not just been my accountant along the way. you've had you know, a real interest in me as a person and my life, and also the life of the business, you know. So not, you know, we could just give you our numbers every year and you submit our accounts, but the journey together certainly hasn't been like that. And it's something that I've been really appreciative of, that you've helped me to grow the business. And I think one of the trickiest things which you've helped with has been that transition from being a clinician, where I actually do the work of case management, whereas nowadays I don't have any clients, and I'm a business owner, and I manage the business, which is a very, very different thing. And that's quite a hard transition for anybody, I think, who would perhaps call themselves a technician in their particular field. And they're, you know, they could be a baker of bread, for example, and they're having to transition to become a business owner. And that's been a really big part of my journey, and something that you've helped with a lot.
Thank you. Yes, that's right. It has been a fascinating journey, and I've watched the personal transformation for you as well as the business transformation, and it really has been a sort of success story. And now, you know, here you are happily married in your beautiful house, and the business has grown, and it's been really lovely to see and to share that path with you. And we've had some ups and downs. I mean, various things have happened, you know, in that it hasn't been necessarily a smooth process over the years, year on year, but overall, the overall growth has been fantastic. Yeah. Great. Well, thanks, John. I think that's really helpful.
Yeah.
And thanks very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Pleasure, Kevin. Absolute pleasure.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
And you.